So you're all set on starting your own window cleaning round, and that is great. But it's not all highs and loads of money and everything going right, but no one ever talks about it. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the honest truth about what it's like to run your own window cleaning business. Hi, my name's Matt, and if you're new here, thanks for tuning in. And if you're a returning viewer, thanks again for coming back. So you're all set on starting your own window cleaning business, and you think it's a great opportunity, and you've watched all the videos. Maybe you've watched a lot of my videos, and I've said about how I can earn £55,000 in one single year. And you're like, wow, I need to be doing that. It looks so easy. It just happens, and he just makes money. What a great opportunity. Well, I'm going to actually tell you some truths that we don't really share on YouTube or Instagram. People don't share these things about the actual reality of running a business. I'm not going to try and put you off, because if you're set on doing it, that's great. But these are things that you need to be aware of. And I wish I'd known some of these before I started as well. The first thing I'm going to cover is pricing. You might find that your area is absolutely saturated with window cleaners. Now, I've been really lucky in the fact that I don't have a lot of window cleaners in my area. There are a few, and there's more popping up all the time, but there are enough houses to go round everyone. I've put myself so that I'm not the most expensive, I'm not the cheapest, somewhere in the middle, and I've got a good reputation. But that's taken like 5 years to get, to be able to be trusted and people to recommend you because you're doing a good job. But you might find that, within a few mile radius of your where you're living, there might be 10, 15 window cleaners, and it's just too many window cleaners to compete. And when people, there's too many of you, you start trying to compromise on price. You have to be the cheapest to get the work, and being the cheapest isn't sustainable at all. You'll find that you're working so many hours and doing so many jobs for very little money. So if you're being undercut a lot on pricing, and you're being pushed down on price, you're probably finding that the area is quite saturated, and it might be the type of customer you're going after. I personally have found that if you advertise on Facebook and gain a lot of your customers through Facebook, although that worked for me originally when I started, it's not so much now. People on Facebook, they're really just looking for the cheapest price. And if you undercut someone to get the job, then as soon as someone cheaper comes along, that customer is going to be moving on to somebody else. They're just not loyal customers. They don't appreciate the service that you're providing. So something you can't control is the weather. We all know that we live in the UK, and well, the weather does whatever it wants to do. You can have sunny one day and pouring with rain the very next day, and you just can't control it. You could have a packed out round every day full, but you're going to lose days where the weather's bad. So I work in the rain with because water-fed pole doesn't really get affected by the rain, but there are times when I just think, I'm wasting my time being out here getting absolutely drenched. People are looking at you thinking, what is he doing? And there are times where you lose days because of the weather. Then you've got the winter, you've got less hours in the winter to clean in. You get a frost and your hoses freeze up, and you can't start as early because there's it's -1, your water's freezing up on the windows. You just can't get as much done in the winter months as you can in the summer. So all these things that happen with the weather, you've got to be really motivated to get out there and get the work done when you can. Cleaning the windows or going out and cleaning gutters, etc., that is the easy part of running a business. Now, you can learn from YouTube how to do it, and you can get really good at it within, a few months. You could be really efficient, really quick, and do a really good job. And that's the easy part, and that's the low stress part. But there's times when everything else, that is the difficult bit. Actually running a business, that's the difficult bit that you have to learn from experience. And it does take time, how to handle customers, how to do quotes and everything like that. One thing I never even considered when I started my window cleaning round is you go out at 8 o'clock in the morning, you finish at 4 o'clock, and you get home. Your day's not done. You've had texts and emails and calls during the day, people asking prices, people asking to join the window cleaning round, people asking, can you schedule in something for next time? And you've got to find time to do these admin tasks. So it happens, you just end up doing it in the evening. Now, I wait until my kids go to bed, the youngest couple go to bed at sort of 7, half 7, and then I get to about an hour and a half till 9 o'clock where I actually can get on and do some of these admin tasks. I have quotes to fill out and send off, emails to respond to, people to chase up with payment. We'll get onto that in a minute. You've got to fill your van up with water. Now, if you're buying from Spotless Water or something like that, you've got to go there and actually fill up. I can fill up at home, but I have to, plug my hose into my van and wait for it to fill up. And that can take 20 minutes, half an hour. And then you come in, you've got to process what you've done for the day, tick off anyone that's paid you. There's a lot of things to get done. And some days I come home and I think, I'm not doing any of that. I will just fill my van with water, get ready for the next day, and the quotes can wait. But if you're wanting to grow your business, you've got to be on it, because if you take too long to respond to someone, they will find somebody else to go with. Admin is definitely part of the job. You want to be a window cleaner and clean windows, then I would say go and work for somebody. You go to work, you clean, you go home and you forget about it. But if you want to run a business, you're going to have to do the admin, you're going to have to do the quotes. So another big stressful thing that I didn't really think about when I started, and that is chasing payments and just getting paid the money that is owed you. And people used to say, I've heard people say, it's difficult to get your money out of your customers. And I thought, do you know that won't happen to me. I'll be able to manage that, and it'll be absolutely fine. I think the very first customer that I took on, she didn't pay me. And which is just hilarious, isn't it? She also ran her own small business and she didn't pay me. And then she said she had paid me. And I was new to it, and I didn't chase it as much as I could, demand that I got paid. I just, wrote it off. It was £12. I'm not going to bother about it. 95% of my customers will pay me the day I'm there or the next day, and you don't have to worry about them. But I've got a few that, every month you've got to remind them, or after every clean, you have to remind them after a few days. I allow them 5 days to pay, and most people are pretty good, but there are the same serial non-payers, I call them. Every time you've got to remind them. Now, this is where Go Cardless comes in. Now, if I could go back and start all over again, I'm only accepting Go Cardless. And if you don't want to go on to Go Cardless, then you'll have to find somebody else. And over time, I would build up my round onto Go Cardless. For those who don't know what Go Cardless is, you can look it up, gocardless.com, and find out what it's all about. But in brief, it's a payment system where your customer fills out their details, their bank details and everything, and it sets up a direct debit for them. But it's different to a direct debit, say, for your mortgage, which comes out on the first of the month regardless. This is it is a direct debit, but it comes out after you've done the job. So you can log on to the website and authorize the payment for them. Now, they get an email to say that you're authorizing the payment, and then you get paid in 5 days. They do take a small fee, but you get paid. They don't have to worry about it. There's no forgetting to be paid. And people saying, oh, sorry, I forgot about that. Now, I've got quite a few on Go Cardless now, and it's something that I've been doing over the last few months. any new customer, the only option they get is go cardless. If they're up for it and they sign up, great, they're on the round. If they say, I'm not interested in paying that way, I'd rather pay cash or bank transfer, then they're not a customer that I'm going to take on. I find that my cash flow is a lot better because of that. And over time, I'm just going to start to try and move everybody across. And I know that's going to be an absolute headache trying to get everyone across to it. But I feel that it is the only way that I'm going to be able to grow my business. So yeah, Go Cardless is a great system. But some customers you can't actually use Go Cardless for. And those customers are your commercial customers. If you are only residential, Go Cardless is great. But, commercial customers, they want to have an invoice and then they put it through their payment process and then you get paid. Now, a lot of businesses will pay after 30 days. So they've got within 30 days to pay your invoice, and they could leave it for 30 days. So you might be owed £100 for a window clean and you've got to wait for the money. Now, if you've got bills to pay, people to pay, you want to pay yourself, you're going to have some money in reserve. It can really mess up your cash flow for your commercial customers when they're not paying on time. If you're going to build out your window cleaning round and you want to go into it, be aware, just because you've done that much work doesn't mean you've got that much money coming in. You're going to have to be on top of your payments and your customers, and you're going to have a good system in place to make sure that you get paid on time. After going all through that, I've probably put you off. Hopefully I haven't, because I want to ask you a question now. Is window cleaning, is it still worth it as a business? And I absolutely think it is. The window cleaning business and doing the window cleaning as a job is a great opportunity. You can earn reasonable money, regular income once you get that customer signed up, and they're happy with your service. Then you just keep going back every month or every 4 weeks or every 8 weeks, whatever your rota is, and you just keep going back and doing the job, and hopefully they pay you. It's great for regular income. There are many businesses out there that rely on sales for that month. They can't forecast how much they're going to be earning over the next month. But window cleaning, you can look and say, I've got this much already for next month, got a few gaps I've got to fill in. But you can forecast what your income's going to be, how much you need to spend out. It is a great business to be in. You can also get to be your own boss. You choose when you want to work. Being your own boss, you decide when you're going to have time off, when your holiday's going to be. You don't need to seek permission from your manager about having time off and then they come back and say no. If you want to have time off because you've got kids and it's the school holidays and you want to go out for the day, yeah, go ahead and do it. Enjoy it while they're young, and you can do that if you can get the work done and your schedule allows it. Yeah, why not have a day off? Spend it with the kids, spend it with the wife, take it off for your birthday or your anniversary. It's great. The other great thing is that you get to work outside, and I work in some lovely village locations out in the middle of nowhere. There's just some fantastic places to work. The other good thing about your window cleaning business is if you want to scale it, you absolutely can. Now, I'm sort of on the fence with what to do. I'm getting close to full capacity. I don't think I'm going to be able to push myself much further to earn more money. As I said, it already eats into my evenings and that sort of thing, the admin. So really I could do less in the day and do my admin in the day. That would be great. But do I now take on someone part-time to give me a hand? So it's just something that I'm thinking about. And, do I scale further into a second van and continue the journey and keep pushing it on, or do I just sit back and take what I've got and sort of enjoy myself a little bit more? I don't know what you think about that. Put it down in the comments. Why not? Tell me what you think I should do. Should I just take it easy and do what I've got booked in, or should I push and build something great that one day maybe I can sell, or hand on to my kids to run? I don't know. And yeah, it's a tricky decision, and it's very difficult when you're going from 1 to 2 vans. I think that's probably the most difficult time. Yeah, that's where I am at the moment. So yeah, hopefully this video's giving you a little insight into what it's like to run a business. It's not all just out there cleaning, earning the money, getting paid, and life is great. It can be stressful. There are times when you want to just give up. And I hope that's actually just given you a real insight into actually what it's like. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I've hit 1,000 subscribers and I'm absolutely over the moon about that. Thank you to everybody who's been watching the videos and subscribed. I intend to keep pushing the YouTube on a lot more. I enjoy doing it as a hobby, but hopefully it's going to pay me a little bit of money now. If you're new here, that you can go back and watch some of the older videos, and I've shared a lot of information on how to start, and I've had a lot of positive feedback from people saying that it's really helpful, the things that I've told them. Anyway, I need to go and get on with my day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.